want to start brewing. And you might be wondering, what ingredients and what recipe should I make? Your first beer should be a fruited triple milkshake IPA. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. That's a terrible idea. All joking aside, your first brew should be as simple as possible, and you should make it 3 times as your first 3 brews. Now, I'll explain why you want to do that later on in the video. For now, let's just focus on the recipe. So the recipe I would recommend is a smash beer, and that stands for single malt and single hop. Up first is our malt. So all you need is a 2-row pale malt of your choice. Try and pick something light and simple. Next is we want pelletized hops. Okay, at this point, it doesn't really matter. The hops can be whatever speaks to you. Now, for me, I personally think Citra goes really well in light beers like what we're going to make. Pick a dry yeast. I would not recommend using a liquid yeast on your first beer. Something like this comes in a little package, 11 grams, super simple. Next up is water. I recommend picking up some RO water just to supplement the water you have at home. Lastly, I do recommend picking up some calcium chloride as well as an acid, whether it be citric or lactic acid. This will help you adjust your mash pHs as well as your pH going into fermenter. It's really important. Okay, that's it. 6 ingredients, as simple as possible. Finally, I suggest you picking up a brewing program online to help you make your recipes. It really does help. There's tons out there. You can pick what works best for you. Okay, so why are we brewing this beer 3 times? The biggest reason is that brewing is complex and really unforgiving. So a lot of the times you'll make a mistake, but you can't correct it until your next brew. Now, if you create as a second brew, let's say, a really complex stout, it's gonna mask what you changed between brews. And you can actually troubleshoot your equipment using flavor profiles to find out what you did wrong. But again, if you brew a stout, that's all out the window. So in my own experience, when we started out home brewing, we didn't really understand this, and we could only make good dark beers, and all of our light beers were awful. And that was the main reason, is that the dark malts actually lended enough acidity to make up for our bad practices as far as pH goes in the mash. All things that you'll learn in time. So trust the process. Make this light beer 3 times. I promise it'll help out. Okay, if I missed anything, put it down in the comments. Check out links for merch and everything else. You know the rest. Beer is the most complex beverage in the world. It really is. And you want to be able to read your notes so that you can do a better job of this.